scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll set up a throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Jesse Bates. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
And a nice little start as he's able to get this up to the 28. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Joe Mixon,
22 yards.
and the Bengals are on the board here first in the season opener. Well, we've said it many times. He is always a threat to go the distance anytime he's got the ball in his hands. And on this occasion, he did just that.
Well, he's definitely the guy that makes this offense go. And when you're an RB1, running back 1, you've got to be willing to be patient at times as well. Not every run's going to be the home run we saw there. But once you get that opportunity and that opening, you take full advantage.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, Let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go. 57's the mic. Rock 57. You're not ready. You're not ready. Check. Check hot route.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll air this one out for Kirk. He rifles one that's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 56 yards for him on the ground in this first quarter. He has been tremendous to start the new year. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's a give to Mixon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. A handoff to Mixon. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Overall, I'd have to say that was just really good team defense because to me, you can't pin that one on the running back. He had no shot there. He had a man in his face immediately.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. They go play action with Burrow. That is caught. It's Uzomah. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 33.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, down at the 33. They'll run here with Mixon. Mixon with a first down and more. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Bengals are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now 14-0.
Bengals 14, Browns nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he... can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass.
Pick me up. Here we go. Hey, check Mike 57.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
Logan Wilson drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up fourth down.
The Browns send out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter one of the new year. We'll be back.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10
on their side of midfield at the 47.
He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon.
And he'll get it down here to the 43.
101 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener.
One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Big 13. Big 13.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
At the 15-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now back to throw. And finding the tight end Hooper. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
Tight end right. 3 down, 3 down. Watch 10, watch 10. Come on, watch 10, watch 10.
Breida, he'll try the right side. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
At the 35-yard line.
Let's go. Back to 60. Back to 60. Back to 60. 57.
On play action, they'll throw. Complete to the running back, Matt Breida. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. He'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And the Bengals are going to have it here at their own 15.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run with Mixon. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Gun.
Now Mixon. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
112 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener.
On one, ready?
Mixon with a first down carry. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And now they will throw it with Burrow. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Now, the Bengals on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Pushes him over.
And he's got a Bengals first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10.
Check back the left. What's the call now? 11 MT.
Mixon with it. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. Mixon with a first down and more. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, and this is one of the best runs you'll see. A lot of times on these long touchdowns, you'll say he gets into the end zone untouched, but not here. He fought his way through contact, and it barely even registered, and he just continued down the field all the way to the end zone.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah,
and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Here's Breida. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory.
51 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. He'll drop to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Mike Hilton.
And the Bengals are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Second and 6.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it.
This goes out wide for Mixon.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
So that time the pressure got home just as he was releasing the football and caused the pick.
And what it did was it disrupted that fragile balance of the mechanics of throwing the football. You know, from the footwork to being able to actually throw it downfield. If one piece of that puzzle gets disrupted, it affects the entire chance of success.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
That is caught, Rashad Bateman. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And now here's another interception. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off near the 26. And he's giving his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime here in our first Monday Nighter of the season. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers, because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
2nd and 10.
This is Mixon. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now, because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And this time he won't even make it back to the line of scrimmage as they stop him in his tracks. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. He'll look to throw. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Again, it's Mixon. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And he's going to be stopped short of a 1st down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds back near their own 20. The Browns drive about to get started. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first.
And that's caught inside the 35. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big play that time for Cleveland. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll drop to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Browns. Matt Breida, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Browns get a score closer. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Here we go.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to make it 4th down. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown.
We know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch it short, he can take it long, or he can do what we just saw right there, catch it and then run with the football.
Yeah, and that was sheer determination right there. He decided before the play, if there was a sliver, he was going to take advantage of it. Looked the ball in, turned on the Jets, and took it all the way.
Here we go. The Browns will go for 2. They run it with Breida, but he will not get in here. He stopped up short of the goal line, and this will remain a 5-point game. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off.
Phillips now from the end zone.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. The Bengals on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
fights loose, and he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football.
Mixon hit, and the ball is out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's got some space here. Sheds off the tackle. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. And a big turning point here in the second half, Charles, after that play.
All you're trying to do is change momentum, flip things around for your team. You're just trying to take the ball away. How about when you take it away and score? That really changes things.
Here we go now as we get set for a big two-point conversion. They run it with Breida, and he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they've upped their lead to 3. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Phillips now from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Once again, they run with Mixon. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
I used to joke with my teammates who carried the ball a lot. When we got in these situations and they were carrying us home, I used to tell them, boy, you guys just look like Paul Bunyan, just growing stronger, bigger, tougher. And all night long, he's carried this team.
He has indeed. Everything magnified right now, a huge 3rd down conversion. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Burrow on play action. And this one is incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Looking to pass. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. He finds his man, complete. That's Day. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Second down and 7.
Again, it's Mixon. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt.
McPherson's kick is good.
And we are all tied here in the final stages.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And that one carries out of the side of the end zone for a touchback, so that will come out now to the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. I see you nodding your head up and down. It's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
Sliding, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fielded at the 33. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bengals drive about to get going. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time here in a tie game. What do they do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sidelines?
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Burrow. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 2nd down now, Mixon takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively, they rally quickly after the broken tackle. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So all eyes now locked on Evan McPherson. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And that is going to sail wide right. It's no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And they will play it safe here and bring this one out to the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They run again with Breida. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. As a fan of the NFL, for an opener, you can't ask for much more than this. Overtime in week 1.
I know it's hard to believe that some people may not have been watching our game, but I'll bet through social media they found out this one was snug and getting into overtime, and they flipped over here in a hurry. This is fantastic. If you're a fan of ball, you love these types of games.
Now a first throw here in overtime.
And he'll take a shot here for Hooper downfield.
He's got a man, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Back to throw. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people really enjoyed this game. They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Browns, it was a game.